Hey guys, Nika coming at you with another garden update. Thanks for joining me. I live in Zone 7, New Mexico, high altitude desert. It's about a week until solstice. And this is the first complete year that I'm actually watching my herbs grow. I planted them last year. They lasted through the winter. I didn't have to replant any of them, and they're just amazingly flowering and seeding. So take a look. My cilantro is seeding. I am just going to let this seed up and throw it back in the pot. I might get 2 containers growing of cilantro. I really love it. This fresh cilantro is so delicious to me. You see, this one's starting to seed. Just too hot, but my papello is growing. Let me show you. Take a look. So guys, I'm trying to grow cilantro alternative. With all the tomatoes I'm getting, I want to be able to make salsa. So this is papello. It's doing really well, and I'm gonna have to find a pot to put this in. But my cilantro is not doing well at all. I'm gonna just start a pot with seed in it and hope that works. So I'm excited to try this in salsa. This is my oregano. It is seeding too. I don't know if you can see that. It smells so good when you water it. If you like that smell, it is a very different smell, but it's starting to seed too. So I have a lot of herbs this year. A lot of them are starting to seed right now. My parsley is growing and it's seeding. Look at these big long stalks of seed I'm getting. I'm going to gather the seed and just throw it back in the pot. I transplanted this into this bigger pot, and I don't know if that's what made it seed like that. Very strange. It's just stringy. There's parsley in here that I've been picking, but I'm getting these big long stalks of seed. Very interesting. Here's my sage. I just put this in this new pot just last night, and it's doing really good. Look, it's even seeding. I'm going to do some seed gathering. All my herbs are seeding right now, right before the solstice. They're all seeding. So we'll have to do some seed gathering. Here's some dill I just transplanted, and it's seeding too. Look at that. Another herb that's seeding. These herbs smell so good when I water them. This dill isn't doing as good. I might have to move this pot. Not sure why it's not doing good, but that's the good thing about growing in containers. You can experiment, moving them around in the yard, seeing if it's the lighting. Here's a container of spinach. It's starting to seed a little bit. So I'm gonna plant some more seed in here. Maybe after the solstice. These are my radishes, and they're flowering. They're seeding. They're just having a time in this container. I'm just kind of like swirled them around, trying to contain them and let them seed, and then I'll probably just throw some more dirt in here and some seed once they look mature enough. I am getting so much seed in here. Isn't that something? So I don't want to waste that. So I'm just going to let it do its thing, and then I'm going to put some dirt on top. See if that helps. It's just too hot for them, so they started to bolt. Here's my chamomile. I have about a half a jar of chamomile. I come out and pick these flowers, but a lot of them are starting to just turn to seed. I don't know if it's just because it's so early in the morning that the white petals are not showing. So guys, look at my potatoes. They're doing fantastic. I have some flowering here. They're purple flowers. These ones had yellow in them, but they're starting to dry up a little bit. I also have purple potatoes in here. I have purples, reds, and whites. These are sweet potatoes. And they are like growing outrageous. I have purple sweet potatoes in here. And these are some that I just found around the yard. Potatoes actually create seed, and you'll find them growing throughout the yard, and I just added them to this pot. And with this technique, I just fill up the container maybe a third of the way with dirt, and then I add seed potatoes, and as it starts to grow and the green starts to show, I keep adding dirt. And that's what I did with this technique on these 2 containers. And once they turn brown and start to get scraggly, we'll turn the pot over and see how well this technique works. My cucumbers, these are patio snackers. I have multiple kinds in this container. And then I have Bush Champions. And hopefully they'll grow up this fence that I have propped here. And eventually I hope they grow onto this window that I have here. Here's my raspberries. I just moved this container. I have blackberries right next to it, and I thought that would need a little more sun. And actually these blueberries are growing, and they're starting to really like this container. So this is berry laying, guys. These are my strawberry plants. This one I just threw a bunch of dirt in it. It was time. And hopefully that helps it to really thrive. But I love this pot. I'm so glad I bought this pot. I didn't buy it for strawberries. I bought it for lettuce. But the strawberries really like this type of container. They are just thriving in this little container. Here's a container of kale I have growing. I have 3 kinds growing in here. I thought I had 3 kinds. 2 of them are very similar and the same. But this is a purple kale right here. They like this spot. This spot gets the afternoon sun. And I actually put some onions in here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some onions growing in the bottom of this container. I thought I'd try some companion planting. Here's some turnips I have growing. None of them look like they're ready to harvest, but they're doing really good in this container. And then right next to this container of turnips, I have collard greens. And they are really doing good. Look how nice and bright. They're really standing at attention. Here's a container of carrots that I have. I have purple carrots. Last time I pulled one, it was so bright purple, it was beautiful. I have orange carrots, red and white, different colors. They are delicious. Carrots, you want to sow carrot seeds like on a month or bi-weekly basis. And you want to stagger the growth of carrots. That way you have carrots all year round. I'm going to build another container just for carrots because I really enjoy growing them. Here I have snow peas. I've been picking these. Look how big and mature this plant is. It is growing insane. I'm getting really good produce from my garden. I've been fertilizing at least every other week Fertilize Friday. I saw someone else call it Fertilize Friday, and I'm joining in on that bandwagon. And I've been fertilizing every Friday, if not every other Friday. And it's really paying off. Look at all of my produce. Beans are really growing. I planted these a couple weeks ago and they're really shooting up. I have cowpeas and regular green beans in here. So I'm hoping they'll grow and start hanging on this fence back here. Here's my basil. It's doing really good. That's a bright, nice green. It just looks so delicious. We'll have to cook something with this basil. Here's my tomatoes. They're doing good. Look how many flowers I'm getting. They're all doing good. You can tell I have different varieties. I am getting lots of tomatoes in here. These ones have been on here for, I want to say a couple of weeks. I want to say at least a month. But they won't be ripe until after the solstice. They just don't mature until then. My tomatoes, in the past, they've never turned until after the 4th of July, after the solstice. And then you start to get a lot of red tomatoes, or ripe tomatoes, I should say. Lots of flowers. That means lots of tomatoes. I don't think I'm gonna prune these. I'm just gonna let them do their thing naturally. Unless something happens where I think I need to, I'm not gonna prune them. Look at this ginormous head of lettuce that I've been picking off of. I've been eating off of this and it's so delicious. Been making spring rolls, salads, and it just keeps producing. And isn't that beautiful? Look guys, I'm getting peppers. These are yellow Big Daddy peppers. This plant is doing wonderful. Here's some arugula that I'm growing. I planted this about a month ago and it's liking this spot. So I'm gonna leave it right here. Here's my mint. I've been harvesting this a lot. Just grabbing it as it grows. Trying to not let it seed so fast. That way I get more produce. Here's my chives. I clipped these all the way down. That way they would start growing again with thinner stalks. They were really tough to chew, so I had to do that. I've had these containers, I want to say about 4 years now. They just continually come back. They're the first things that start to turn green in February. Here's my celery. It's finally starting to take. It took its little time. It's finally starting to take in this container. This container will be totally root bound once these start to grow. Celery, very dense root system. My sunflowers are starting to really grow, and I planted some wildflowers in here, so this is going to be a nice little flowery spot in my garden. This is some okra that I've been growing, and it's starting to really get tall. Very vibrant color on this. So that Fertilize Friday, I'm a believer in Fertilize Friday. These bunching onions are seeding. You can tell we're right in a transitional period because my herbs are seeding, these onions are seeding. There's a lot of things, the spinach, a lot of things are seeding right now. So we're in a transitional period and the garden's gonna start changing. So that's my garden, guys. I really enjoy this area. I spend a lot of time in this green oasis in the desert. Zone 7, New Mexico high altitude desert. I really enjoy this spot. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. If you like this content, hit that like button. See you on the next video, guys. Have a good day. Bye.